Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Hi, this is Cole Vallis, Tommy Elliott on Fox's Gotham, and you're listening to Phil, Kelly, and Tyler on Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast.
Welcome to Before the Bat, your guide to the city of Gotham and everything Batman. I am your co-host, Phil. With me is Kelly.
Hey!
And Tyler.
Hello, Gothamites. Welcome.
The gang's all back. The show's back.
Yay! Gotham's back!
So you want
I almost want to say, let's get dangerous. But that's completely wrong story.
Yeah. You're the duck that flaps in the night.
Oh, jeez. Kelly, you want to give us the summary of the episode Rogues Gallery?
Detective Jim Gordon reports to duty at Arkham. His assignment gets off to a rocky start when the murder of a guard ignites an investigation, leading him to meet Dr. Leslie Tompkins, guest star Marina. How do you spell her? How to say your last name? Baccarin from Homeland. Not familiar with her. Meanwhile, Cobblepot continues to build his army in the all-new Rogues Gallery episode of Gotham. That's the synopsis. Short, sweet, and to the point.
But I found it fascinating. The inmate Jack Gruber, the one who's like playing like he was a psychiatrist or something.
Mophead.
I was trying to figure out who it was. Tyler, did you think he was Hugo Strange at first?
Yes, I did. Thank you. I'm not alone in this.
I thought maybe he was going to change his name. I'm like, Gruber, there's no Gruber. But then I guess from what they showed of next week, I guess he's going to be the electrocutioner.
Yeah. I was kind of let down. Because I was like, maybe he's Hugo Strange. Because he looked like he could be Hugo Strange.
Yeah.
And as I sat there and thought about it, I liked the actor. And I was like, he would be perfect as a Hugo Strange.
I loved the mop. The mop was perfect. His wig, that's what it was, an industrial mop.
But, yeah, I guess they're going to make him the electrocutioner, which there was no Jack Gruber as the electrocutioner, but in the comics there were 3 different electrocutioners.
Ooh.
It works.
Yeah.
He's not a big enough character for me to be like, hey.
Yeah, the first one, they didn't even reveal his first name. It was just Baczynski, and he first appeared in Batman 331 in January of 1981. And he was killed by the Vigilante. The second one, they never gave him a name. He showed up in like one issue. I think it was Detective Comics 626 of February 1991. And then the third one was Lester Baczynski, the brother of the first one. He appeared in Detective Comics 644, May 1992.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just wonder why they gave this guy a different name. I guess so we wouldn't see it coming. I don't know.
Maybe.
Did you see that Aaron guy he escaped with? You know who that's supposed to be, Tyler? Aaron Helsinger, who's known as Amygdala because he's had surgery on his brain, specifically the amygdala part of his brain that controls like emotion.
I like that this episode coming up with the electrocutioner ties directly into this previous episode, so that it's not a one-off episode, it's continuing the story and makes like a manhunt kind of plot. Something...
Yeah, but then doesn't he run right to police headquarters, it looks like?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you're an escape mental patient and you run right to the... Yeah, it looks like he's in the middle of the precinct, so yeah, escape mental patient and you run right to the police. Bad move.
Well, We saw what happened. We know the Gotham police aren't the strong unit they were and are. I mean, we know that Maroney.
I did love that. What?
Maroney.
Maroney?
Yeah, he's got some of the policemen in his pocket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. After he comes to see Oswald. After Oswald trying to make a stand, and
I gotta say, I love that line about I like you there behind bars, like a bonsai tree. That was hilarious. It's soothing, like a bonsai tree.
It was just kind of ironic because he wasn't killed, but it seems like Oswald got cobblepotted himself.
Yes. I was thinking, he didn't. No one got cobblepotted. He got cobblepotted to himself.
Trouble.
He ran his mouth and got slapped by a cop.
Did you find it funny and ironic though that he got in trouble because of fish? Because he was trying to
Why? Because he's a penguin.
He was trying to raise the tax on the fishermen.
Yeah.
I just thought that kind of funny.
He tried to overextend his power. That was his problem.
Exactly.
Oh, and you know who else we saw this week? Finally, Tyler's favorite, Barbara.
Okay, I will tell you. When G and I were watching it, we were watching it on DVR, and I was watching it, and it got to Barbara scenes, and I just wanted to fast forward it. And she was like, no, what if there's something about, the story? And I'm like, I really don't care. I just can't stand Barbara that much that I'm okay with fast forwarding through all of her scenes.
Well, I think the rest of the show's catching up with you, Tyler, because Montoya was basically walking out on her too now. So
I know. Gosh, I could.
Well, I think it's going to take her hitting the bottom.
I think.
Seems like she's getting close.
And by rock bottom, I hope you mean she's jumping off the bridge in Gotham Harbor.
She's got to have Barbara first. So what I'm saying is I hope she hits rock bottom so she figures out she needs to get her head back on top of her shoulders and her neck and not elsewhere.
Look, this is Gotham. This show. It's its own universe. Barbara can come some other way. I'm tired of this Barbara. Let's just
adoption.
Let's move her on out. Let's just...
Or he can marry the doctor at the hospital and I guess have a daughter named Barbara.
Oh, with Leslie Tompkins. Ooh.
See, okay, we'll get to Leslie in a minute, but
although in the comics, Kelly, she kind of has like an off again, on again romance with Alfred.
Oh, now that would be kind of weird.
Because she's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, they're kind of closer to the same age in the comics.
She was supposed to be a little bit older than Thomas Wayne because she was kind of like a mentor.
Yeah, she was like friends and like co-workers with Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, in a lot of respects, as Alfred was the surrogate father to Bruce, Leslie was supposed to be the surrogate mother to Bruce. And I don't know if they're going to do it that way. Like, I like Marina Baccarin as an actor. I like that she's on the show. I just don't know how I feel about her being Tompkins. Like, she's not who I would envision. Like, if you guys ever watched Son of Batman, she did the voice for Talia al Ghul on that. She's still done some other vocal work for DC. And I don't know. I like her being part of the show. I just don't know if I like that she's Tompkins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if maybe because it's so set in the past, but she always struck me as an older character.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, she was supposed to be a little older than Thomas, is how I always took it, but maybe around the same age because she was more on par with, like you said, with Alfred. So, but I guess she'll be older when Bruce grows up. But
well, she could be an interesting mentor to young Bruce, though.
Yeah.
He needs well-educated and people that he can look up to in his life. Like, Jim Gordon, I
just wish there would have been a line where she said you were on the Wayne case, and she would have, like, a one-off line where she's like, Thomas was a good man. I knew him well. Or, I don't know, something to where
yeah, but unless she meets Bruce through Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, is she coming back? Do we know if she has a recurring role?
I thought they said she was at least recurring, wasn't she?
I thought so. I mean, I didn't think it was
I don't think
a one-off episode. I think she'll be back for another one or two. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I always liked that she tied in with Thomas and not just with Bruce's Batman.
Yeah, she needs to be there for Bruce because what's going to happen. Tommy Elliott's coming back.
He better.
Well, some of the hints me and Kelly got last week. I think he's coming back. Some of the hints me and Kelly got.
Good.
Just who we didn't see this week.
Who?
We didn't see young Bruce this week.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Yeah, or we didn't see Alfred.
No.
And I'm okay with that though. Like I'm okay with that.
I was
we did
too.
get to see Ivy though.
Yes, we did. We got to see a sick Ivy. Poor girl.
Like she was poisoned. Poor girl. A poisoned Ivy.
Yes, there you go.
Just like when Ivy answered the phone was goofing and like Barbara like freaked out. Like she couldn't tell that was a kid's voice.
Well, some kids sound older than they are, and if Barbara's taking pills and stuff, her brain's liable to be addled anyway.
That's why she needs to die and be off the show. Just saying.
But you were saying you fast forwarded to that one Barbara part. Did you see when she called the apartment?
Yeah, I fast forwarded, and then she made me back up and watch it, so I watched it. I didn't want to. But she made me.
But Ivy angered her. Great. Who's this?
I just think it just shows more how reckless and stupid her character is. I don't know. She just bothers me because I feel like she suffers because the writers don't know what to do with her. So now they're trying to create some sort of tension for her and some sort of story, but the movable furniture, one-dimensional.
Well, she's suffering from Laurel Land syndrome.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Little rich girl with too much money and nothing to do.
and nobody who's taught her responsibility or what real life is. You can have money and still be grounded, but she's not.
That's why she should get pregnant, have Barbara, and disappear. She should be murdered by the penguin.
Oh, you want Barbara to be cobblepotted.
Dude, that would be sweet if she was. Or...
And how would that change Jim's perspective on the whole crime syndicate?
He doesn't have to know. He just has to... She dies of a pill overdose.
That would really be... I don't know, if he did find out though, that would be a really good reason to show, how the driving force behind him wanting to clean up the whole city.
Yeah. And renewing his commitment to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. We should wait.
Why he has all that almost Batman-like obsession with, saving the city.
Uh-huh. And how, would he enlist the help of others?
Yeah, he'd have to. He can't do it all on his own.
Right. I'm just thinking there would be other people, if Barbara was killed by the Penguin, who would join in. You know what I'm saying? With his crusade, I think. Because they would say, oh, here she was, she's a socialite, she's one of the supposedly the up-and-comers of Gotham, and, she gets murdered by this guy, and...
I'm saying, she doesn't get murdered. They don't know it. She dies of a pill overdose.
That could work, too.
But it really was set up by the Penguin. But they don't know it. And then, you have Montoya who starts investigating it, and eventually finds out that it was a murder, but can't prove it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else thinks Barbara just went off the deep end, and basically died of an overdose.
And then Gordon blames Montoya.
Yep, after Barbara gave birth to twins, James and Barbara. So we can get James Jr. in here so he can become the psychopath that we all need him to be.
Such a wonderful family tree.
I'm telling you, one of the creepiest stories I ever read was the Black Mirror volume and all the stuff with James Jr.
Oh yeah, the backup stories and
Yes.
that? Yeah. And Dick Grayson as Batman in the main stories, yes.
Creepy.
But how many psycho kids does Gotham churn out? I mean, between Tommy Elliott, James Gordon Jr.
They got a whole asylum full of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, Anarchy was a teenage kid. There was that creepy kid, the general. He studied military history, and he tried to get all the gangs of Gotham together as his army.
Of course, you have Jonathan Crane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Gotham is. In a sense, that's what the city is it's an evil that you can't kind of put out. And that's the whole point of Batman and Jim's fight, is that it's like a never-ending battle, but...
It kind of chews you up and spits you out. The city does.
Exactly.
But, yeah. But, you know who else we didn't talk about this episode? Fish's right-hand man, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, what is his name?
I forget. Every episode I'm like, oh, I want to, gotta remember this name that I forget.
Man,
Which one? She's had a couple.
The one who's always with him, the one who met with the other guy, crime boss, and then he shot him.
Yeah, that was
the one he was
you know
old
what?
buddies with.
I really wish he would have been more of a double cross to Fish. Like, because that really, like, when he confessed about the meat and everything, and I was like, man, are you going to kill your friend? Because I was like, it would...
But yeah, I think they left it up in the air, so everyone's like, is he going to betray Fish? Is he not going to betray Fish? Is Oswald going to kill everyone?
Like I was saying, he shot the guy, and I just wish it would have left it more ambiguous to where his name is Butch.
Butch, yeah.
Butch Gilzine.
But yeah, like I said, I think they did kind of like leave it so that like, you don't know if he's going to betray Fish or not.
Well, I think it is.
Whether he's going to try to make a move to get power for himself, or he's going to stay with Fish, loyal to Fish.
Hey, IMDb has Leslie Tompkins for 12 episodes.
12 episodes, yeah, that's what I was just looking at. That's a lot, yeah.
Well, that's probably what, like the rest of the season, isn't it?
But which is weird because it also has Bruce listed for 22 episodes and he wasn't in last week's. So.
Yeah, but what's the season? Is the season going to be 23 maybe?
Well, it has Gordon listed as 22, and Gordon should be in every episode.
Yeah, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? You know, that's the cool thing I think about this show is we could see an episode that doesn't have Gordon, and I think it would work just as well.
Because that's what this show's evolved into. In the beginning, it was just supposed to be a Gordon-centric show with no Bruce, and like I don't think the criminals were supposed to play that big of a role. But I mean, look at it now.
Yeah, I think it works better as almost an ensemble than just a straight Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just looking at some of the other cast that's upcoming we can talk about. That's pretty sweet. We're going to see Scarecrow and his dad.
Did they have an episode number or anything about when Scarecrow's supposed to show up?
No. But it looks like he's going to appear in 2 episodes as a child, so...
14 and 15, it says. For Jonathan Crane. Yeah,
and what was this?
I'm looking here.
What was this?
9.
What was this week? 10 or 11?
It was
9?
Wasn't it? I think it was 9.
I don't know.
I'm looking here to see if his dad matches up. Yep, 14 and 15.
No, I'm sorry. I was wrong. It was 11. This was 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought we were in the double digits, 10 or 11. Yeah. It's just been a while since we had a new episode.
The break went by fast, though. I'll tell you what. Like I thought I was gonna feel like, man, it's been so long since we Gotham, but Gotham went by quick.
Well, didn't they replay most of the season too during the break?
They replay the episodes, which is interesting. Usually when they take a break, they don't show the show, but sometimes they do, and it was nice because it's really building up more momentum for the show.
Yeah, well, I think it's such a ratings. They're doing good in the ratings, and I'm sure that's like, hey, you gonna watch the show when it comes back? Did you miss anything? Here it is.
So I'll tell you, what did you guys think of just Gordon operating inside Arkham?
It was good. I mean, it was kind of sad to see how far he'd fallen, but that scene with Bullock was great.
Yes, it was. Now, I was kind of hoping that maybe something would be revealed that maybe Detective Essen has some sort of suspicion about Arkham, and they kind of pulled some strings to get Gordon to Arkham more of an undercover, that he really is working for the police department there, because they have something they think is going to be going on in Arkham with all the ties that the Mafia had to it. I don't know.
But I don't think it's gonna happen after this episode, because she's like, if I can get you back, she's like, I'd do it in a second.
Exactly. I was just kind of like, well, I guess he's a security guard for Arkham, which sucks.
Yeah, but it might help out later that if he knows the actual, everything about the inside of Arkham.
Gordon knows the infrastructure, which will be helpful.
Well, and Bruce was really concerned because that was his parents' legacy, and he really wanted to be Arkham to be something good.
Well, see, I wonder if they'll do the storyline where his mother's maiden name was Arkham, like his mother was one of the Arkhams.
Or what? Yeah, or wasn't, or her maiden name was Kane, and was she related to the Arkhams?
Because I know that in Batman Earth 1 is where Jeff Johns made her an Arkham, and Bruce technically, inherits the Arkham legacy as well. So I thought that'd be kind of cool if they did it more with that storyline.
But in my best nerd voice, that is not canon, Tyler.
This show is not canon. I mean,
yeah.
You have to look at the show as its own self-contained universe.
They fire cannonballs at Cannon.
So, I mean, they just throw names out there, and if someone like, oh, hey, that's this person, all right. I mean, we have older Sarah Essen that I don't ever see Gordon getting with, ever. So don't see that happening.
Yeah, because in the comic books, Kelly Essen was Gordon's second wife.
Huh.
I don't see. Bullock's usually supposed to be younger than Gordon.
Yeah, a little bit younger, and Essen worked for Gordon, not the other way around in the comics.
So yeah, I'm just saying there's some stuff that they've just kind of thrown to the wall, like the ages of a lot of the villains that Batman will be beating up while they're in their wheelchairs and retirement homes. So I mean,
well, yeah, I forget where I heard it, but someone was saying, yeah, this show's so funny because like Cobblepot and some of them are so old now. By the time Bruce becomes Batman, half of them are gonna be walking around with walkers, so it won't be hard to beat up.
They'll be doing Depends commercials.
I mean, they brought in Harvey. I think I like Harvey, but they brought him in just a little too soon and a little too old. But I mean, like I said, if you look at it in its own self-contained universe, it'll work. I'm still waiting for my man to show up in utero. You know what I'm talking about, Phil? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Dick Grayson.
Yep.
Well, they said it's coming. They said his parents are going to be on here.
Yeah, I'm completely cool with that.
And you know how many speculations now I've seen about the Court of Owls? Like,
Hopefully
tons of it.
I think Tyler started
I
half
know.
of it.
This guy.
I just laugh every time I see him. I'm like, mm-hmm.
I wish somebody would just drop a line about, hey, meet us on the corner of Lincoln in March. I'm telling you.
No. Or I'm thinking if we see Dick Grayson's parents and like his mother's pregnant or something, and we could just see the Court of Owls saying they need to keep an eye on the Graysons or whatever.
Exactly. I'm telling you, that would just make everything just so much better.
Well, like you said, we just have to wait for this show.
Exactly. Give us season 2. Give us season 2.
At least consult on it.
For real. I mean, first of all, who saw that the nurse really wasn't a nurse and saw that coming?
I don't know if I did. I don't think I really saw that coming, though.
I did when I realized that she was talking really weird.
That's true. But I was just like, then why do they let her? They seem to let her roam around wherever she wanted, though.
See, and I'd like to go. I need to go watch it again and kind of get a better feel for it because just watch the way they place her in scenes, especially with. Do we even got the guy's name who was the head of Arkham who got killed?
Who the director?
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, I do have that. I think I have that in my notes somewhere. No, I find it. I'm telling you, I have like 7 pages of notes this week. I'm prepared. Asylum director Jerry Lang.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that because I was like, Lang. I was like, that's weird. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, that's
Maybe
odd.
he's related to Hetty.
Well, you know, in DC terms, you have Lang, you have Lana Lang and her whole legacy of problems.
Yeah, but I don't think she's related. He's related to Lana
Nope,
Lang.
I don't at all. But it's just one of those things. If you're making up a name, like of all the names to choose from, you can't pick one that doesn't have a tie to any other character.
Yeah, I remembered the Lang part from the Bullock scenes. Well, Dr. Lang, you have to come with me. This is a police investigation. Officer Gordon, take charge.
That was so awesome how he played him.
I know, Bullock coming, he was so excited to see Gordon. He's like, Gordon! He's like, yeah.
Yes. And the director was just like, oh, I'm being hustled. And he totally was.
I know, and he's like, you called the police? And Bullock's like, why shouldn't he call the police?
That's right. Of course he should call the police.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you call the police in this kind of a matter?
Because seriously, that's like attempted murder, really.
He was like, he's still breathing, right? Yeah, no problem for me.
Yeah. Wow.
Just give him another troll cup.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I think Arkham was, like he said, they rushed him in there. It's understaffed, under everything. So you're going to have problems. Gordon's the only one that seemed like... Okay, my favorite scene of this episode was when Gordon does his little investigation in Arkham, where he's like going around talking to the guys about their keys, and he's interviewing all the inmates. And one goes, I have the keys right here. He's like just dangling his face.
That was so creepy.
And that's like, especially when he's talking to Gruber, and Gruber's like, talking like it almost sounds like a demented psychologist. I'm like, is this Hugo Strange?
Why would I waste my psychic energy on someone who's...
Yeah,
exactly.
because Arkham's not a prison, like, asylum yet. It's supposed to be more like a asylum mental hospital. So I was thinking, like, maybe Gruber is, at first I was thinking maybe he's strange or something like that. He's in there.
He changes his name. He's like straight,
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, he checked himself in there because he had a breakdown or something. Like, it was one of those cases of him being a very smart person who had their own breakdown. He checked himself in for treatment. Or maybe he was just doing research or something on the mentally insane. I don't know. I like that actor, and I think he would have been a great Hugo Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I've seen him in, he's done a very good job. So it would have been really interesting to see where he go. But hey, we're gonna get more Electrocutioner, so I guess that'll have to do.
We need some more returning villains too. I don't know, Black Mask and Tommy Elliott.
I'm definitely thinking we need some more Todd Stashwick. Just saying.
Yeah, and like I said, just from the interview from last week, I'm pretty sure Tommy Elliott's coming back also.
But he can't be too much of a villain right now. Like,
no, but like remember in the comic books, he was like Bruce's friend in childhood. So I mean, maybe he had some sense knocked into him. Maybe he tries to friend up with Bruce.
It would be nice. I just think more returning villains, instead of just like that keep coming back that they can't catch. And if the Electrocutioner becomes one, that's cool. I'm okay with that. But I don't know. Gordon needs his own kind of villains right now. Not too over the top, but something.
Well, I think Gordon has his own villain. He's called the Mayor.
That's very true. He's got more than one villain.
Or Barbara.
Yeah, that too. Very true.
No, that's Tyler's. That's Tyler's villain, Barbara.
I can't figure out who's worse, Barbara or Fish. At least in this episode, I got just enough Fish, just enough. Make her character interesting, and then she disappeared. So.
That's right. So I guess he's trying to say they both
right.
stink, huh?
I was gonna say, yeah, don't overdo it with the fish. You'll get gas.
Oh, ouch.
So, do we have anything else for this episode?
I liked this episode. I'm glad to see Gotham back, and like I said, I'm glad it didn't show Bruce, because I really feel like this show can benefit from not always having Bruce, so we can make like larger leaps in his story. So like the next time we see him, him and Albert could be training together more. He could be more into his desire to learn, criminology and business, instead of always having to show us that. I definitely thought that the having Ivy and Cat storyline was very interesting.
The slumber party at Gordon's place.
Yeah, like it was one of those things. Like, will it play out to something, or was it just kind of something for them to do? I mean, we know it set Barbara off, but is there any more to it? We'll find out.
Yeah, well, and I think it's interesting that Gordon doesn't know. He could find a bowl of soup there.
He's at work. He's working at Arkham. He don't have time to go home. There's no reason for him to go home.
Well, is that really his home? Was that more Barbara's home? Because she's the one with all the money.
That's what I was going to say. Is it makes me wonder if, like you were saying, is that her place and he's just staying there.
Yeah, but he did come back to it eventually. But girl, I don't got time to wait by the phone for you. I got a city to save.
And in a lot of ways, I think Gordon is better off not with Barbara, but at the same time, I think it's in his character to give her a second chance, because that's part of who he is.
Yeah, but he's got a serious conflict of interest there. I mean, hello, she's popping pills and doing all this stuff that, not
but
exactly...
he doesn't know that yet. He doesn't know what's going on. He's too busy trying to save the city. He don't know that his fiancé is a psychopath.
Well, I think he knows she drinks and she's depressed. I mean, you have to know that.
She stays in the apartment all day. What else would you be if you stayed in the apartment all day?
Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? He would have to know that, though. He if you're a detective, you've been...
Get a hobby, girl. Jeez.
I mean, you, if you're a detective, you see an addictive personality, and you're going to recognize it. You know what I'm saying? And she definitely has an addictive...
Yes, but love is blind
That's
sometimes.
True. I wouldn't think it would be that
We'll see. We'll see. Because I mean, I definitely like that Gordon is that sharp of a detective, but there's always that that way to say like maybe he's blind to Barbara. That's like his weakness, that he doesn't see what that. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm being optimistic, maybe.
Optimistic when it comes to Barbara.
So I kind of wonder what's going to happen now, though. I mean, what happens to Jim and his job?
He'll be back on the force here soon.
I'm sure if not before, by season's end.
Well, of course. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you think about it. The guy got away from the asylum. He was giving, the boss guy was giving him a hard time just because, people were getting electrocuted, not even an escape. And
maybe he captures maybe he captures Gruber next episode, and he's a big hero to the public, and the mayor has no choice but to bring him back, because they'll be like, you're gonna leave like this hero cop stuck in Arkham.
That would be interesting if you get public opinion behind him, because everyone thinks he's still one of the cops that solved the Wayne murders.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why is he there? Bring him back. Blah, blah, blah. Of course.
Yeah, they'll be like, you got your top cop stuck doing security.
I mean, the mayor's not mayor forever. Eventually he has to be up for re-election.
Yep.
So, it's one of those shows I don't know. It's one of those shows that always surprises me, because you can never quite pinpoint where it's going to go.
Yeah, who knows if the mayor quits or gets thrown out? Who knows who could run for mayor? Falcone.
That
Hamilton Hill. I'm telling you, Hamilton Hill.
What if it's Barbara Gordon or Barbara Keene?
It would be interesting if it was. I doubt she'd get elected though, but you never know.
I doubt she'd be able to stay sober through a debate.
Oh, if she ran, oh my god, I would just want a camera in Tyler's house so I could see him headbutt the TV.
If they did an episode like that, I would just FaceTime you, Phil, and you could just watch me, just be like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I liked it. It was good. I liked seeing Jim interact with Leslie. I liked the show back, and of course I liked Bullock, just being Bullock. So.
All right, so on our sliding scale of 5, what do you give it?
3.5.
I was gonna say 3.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is 3.
I'll give it the half because I really liked Bullock, and because there wasn't that much fish, so it made me smile. And Barbara yells.
Yeah, but there
was Barbara. Dang it, man. Okay, 3.
I was gonna say, and there was no Bruce and Alfred.
All right, I'll go with 3. And
right,
Cobblepot got Cobblepot. He didn't do any Cobblepot.
So you heard it here, folks. On our scale of 5, we gave it a 3 batarangs.
Awesome.
So, does anyone have anything else?
I'm good. Stay safe, Gothamites.
I can't wait to see the next episode.
Oh, I know.
And see the Mop Man on the run.
Man on the run.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. We're horrible.
It's gonna be fun.
Alright. Well then, I'll do our social media. Please, let us know what you think about this episode. Our email is beforethebat@gmail.com. On Facebook, we're Before the Bat, the Gotham Podcast. Twitter is @BeforeTheBatPod. Instagram, BeforeTheBat_FlashArrowPod. And Tumblr is BeforeTheBat/FlashArrowPod. And you know what else we have now? Well, we've had for a while. Well, if you go to our Before the Bat page on SouthgateMediaGroup.com, if you go down to, it's right under the link for our Facebook page. It's the button for the forum. Like the bulletin board. You can go on there and you can start conversations with us.
Awesome.
All the shows have them, but we have one.
It's time that our fans talk to us.
Yes, share our strange behavior with yourselves.
Be punny.
Good times.
And my personal Twitter is @NightwingPDP.
And my personal Twitter is @JTYPatrick.
And you can find me at Super Squint. That's SUPERSQUINT.
Okay.
That was my
That was
dog.
weird.
I promise. That was my dog.
Alright, we're not going to ask what you're doing with that dog, but...
She's upset because it's cold.
Alright, and with that, we're going to end this podcast.
Alright. Well,
Alright, so, until next week, everyone. Well, you know what we say. Same
Same
bat
bat
time,
time,
same bat
same
channel.
bat channel.
The Gotham Podcast. Please come back next week, everyone. Goodbye.